All right, it is time now once again for the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. My name is Elias Melas, but you can call me Eli for short. And who is this lovely, amazing lady over here to my right? Who are you? Who the heck are you?
Well, I'm your girlfriend, Dawn Ledgerwood.
That's right.
Yes, that's right.
And you're also the vice president, the VP of operations for the GNA, short for Genuine Networking Association.
That is correct.
That's right. All right, let's get right to it. Welcome back to another episode of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. This is episode number 64. And today's topic is Creator Fair Use Copyright Battle on YouTube. One more time. Episode number 64 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast is titled Creator Fair Use Copyright Battle on YouTube. Today, Don, we're talking about something that affects almost every creator on YouTube: copyright, fair use, reaction content, commentary, transformative use, and the growing battle between creators who believe they are protected under fair use and creators who believe their work is being taken, reused, monetized, and exploited. This episode, once again, is called Creator Fair Use Copyright Battle on YouTube. And today, Don and I want to talk about why this issue matters, because YouTube has become one of the biggest places where copyright disputes happen. Creators upload their videos, other creators react to them. Some add commentary, some add criticism, some transform the material, and some, in my opinion, cross the line into using someone else's work as content for their own channel. So today, we're going to talk about the controversy, what fair use really means, why creators get confused, why reaction content can be risky, why copyright law still matters, and why every creator needs to understand that fair use is not just a magic phrase. It is a legal defense. And whether something is fair use depends on the facts. So, babe, we're going to talk about this in a second. But before we get to all of that, as always, babe, I must ask you, how's the past week gone for you here at the GNA, which is short for Genuine Networking Association?
It's been another great week. Very, very busy this week. Not necessarily with the case. We're not even really going to talk about that, but there's just been a lot of great things going on with the GNA and as well as our life. We've been really busy this week, like out almost every day. Lots of family stuff, time together. It's just been really nice. Great week.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a great week, but a very, very busy and tiring week, to say
it always is.
Well, there's so much going on. I've been trying to get this organization going for so long. I mean, I've been running it since 2011. Back in those days, we were running in-person business networking events for entrepreneurs. And over the last 8 or 9 years on YouTube, I transformed the GNA into more of an online personal development type of forum where, we want to help people better their lives, better themselves, teach people to learn to love themselves more, have more self-respect for themselves, right? Teach people to just be better people, because in life, what you put out is what comes back. You only get back in life what you put out, right, babe?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So if you put out respect, you should receive respect.
Right. If you respect people, they're going to respect you. But if you take advantage of people, such as violate their copyright on YouTube and try to shield it by saying it's all fair use regardless of how much I use or regardless of what I say or do, if you go down that route and you think that you're so entitled to someone's content, you've got a lot to learn.
Yes.
And you may be dealing with a lot of legal issues, just like many YouTubers have been dealing with. And I've been dealing with legal issues. I am the one that is the plaintiff in my cases. I have filed a few copyright claims board cases here in the U.S. over the last few years. But the Copyright Claims Board is an alternative to the more expensive and, more difficult, federal copyright court. But the thing is about the Copyright Claims Board is that if you sue someone there, they have the option to opt out of the case within the first 60 days after they get served, which pretty much, in my opinion, renders it useless. Because most people are going to opt out, and it's going to force the case to federal court anyway. And I've been dealing with a lot of copyright issues out here on YouTube over the last several years. I've been dealing with people making me the content, people making me their content engine, defaming me for dollars. Restreaming is a major issue. People feel like they can rebroadcast your entire hour or two long live streams in real time as long as they do commentary, and they say it's all, protected by fair use because we're making commentary along the way. But that's just one factor of the 4 factors of fair use. We're going to get more into that today as we get further into the show. But I want to mention that we did do a show on copyright earlier on this year, but we felt it was important to revisit it this week because another copyright case by a prominent YouTuber named Ethan Klein is about to get decided against another YouTuber named Denims. He sued this female YouTuber here in California. I believe they both live in Central or Southern California, down south from where we're out here in Northern California. And, he basically sued Denims for running a watch party. And Denim's attorney and Denim, they filed the federal copyright court version of a motion to dismiss. And the way it works is there's a preliminary judgment, and the judge has favored Denim's and her fair use case, strongly in this preliminary judgment, which more than likely will become the permanent judgment very, very soon. So I was, seeing this happen on YouTube, and I'm like, wow, I thought Ethan Klein was going to have this one wrapped up in the bag. But at the same time, I'm also realizing that Ethan Klein, he basically, he set up Denims. He basically copyrighted a video on purpose because he knew people were going to reuse it. And so he copyrighted this pre-recorded video, waited till the copyright got approved to release it. He then released it, and then this Denims lady on YouTube, she basically ran a watch party on it, and it seems like her use is going to be fair use. Now, that doesn't shield everyone that does these watch parties, rebroadcasting people's live streams or using their entire portions of content. Each situation is completely different, and we're going to get into that and truly explain what fair use is and what are the best ways to protect yourself from having to deal with these lawsuits.
Yeah, I was going to say, where does that fall in that fair acts? And if he already had it, I think that's smart what he did. I don't think it was entrapment. I think it was smart for him to get it copyrighted before he put it out there because he protected himself. and if people then took advantage of that, they've got to deal with the consequences.
That's true. He also, I think what hurt him was he mentioned something in his complaint that Denham's, reacted to the content in opposite ways of what it was meant to be reacted to. And I think that screwed his case up because what the judge ended up saying is, well, that's more proof that she transformed the content. And that's, that was a poor mistake by
Mr. Klein.
Ethan Klein and his attorney to put something on there that's basically saying, well, then she made it her own. If she was talking about the content in a way that wasn't its original purpose, then she changed it into something else. Now, there are a lot more factors, that are into play, and we'll get to as the show goes on.
Yeah, because at this point, to me, it sounds like she is basically like reporting on the show that he did and giving a counter act to or counter thought to what he was saying. And doesn't that happen on TV all the time? And it is fair use. People do it, like comedians, let's say late night comedians will put a little excerpt up of whoever acting a fool, but then like they only show that little bit and their whole show isn't about that. It goes, they say their joke and then they go on to making fun about somebody else. So that is fair use, right? Am I understanding how that would work?
It can be fair use.
Okay, well.
Fair use is at the discretion of the judge or the jury in federal district court.
Okay.
Every case is different. Every case is unique. And every case is weighed on the 4 factors of fair use. Should we go over the 4 factors of fair use? And before we get into the questions I have for you.
Yeah, let's familiarize.
And then I have a couple of Reddit postings regarding the Ethan Klein situation. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and switch over to...
That'll be helpful.
What's that?
It'll be helpful.
Yeah, let's switch over to the browser source here.
Ouch.
If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're on the audio-only network, you may want to click the link halfway down the description of wherever you're listening to this audio only, and then you can see this on the screen. If not, just listen. Okay, let's switch over here. And let me make this a little bit bigger here. All right, so the 4 factors of fair use explained. Fair use. Whoops. What is going on here? There we go. Fair use is a legal doctrine allowing the unlicensed use of copyrighted works in specific circumstances such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, or research. Does the big dog have to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, go ahead and explain this.
Hold on. Let me turn off the camera.
All right. Go ahead and explain while I'll be in the same room.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So courts determine if a use is fair on a case-by-case basis, evaluating 4 statutory factors. The 4 factors a court considers are 1, purpose and character of the use. This factor examines how the material is used and whether it serves the public interest. What favors fair use is uses that are nonprofit, educational, transformative. A transformative use adds new meaning, message, or expression rather than just copying the original. What weighs against fair use is commercial or for-profit uses. So basically, the purpose and the character of the use very important. It's basically, are you commercializing it or are you not? And if you are using it as a commercial piece of content for profit, that's very risky. You should get permission from the copyright owner before you do that. If you're not making money off of it, most copyright owners are going to probably let it slide because it could be seen as a promotional piece and help you get more exposure. But if you are commercializing it, even if you're accepting donations on YouTube while using someone else's content, that's something that can weigh against fair use there. So the purpose and character of the use. You ready for the camera to come back on?
Let me put my headphones on.
Is he good?
Oh, he didn't go. He just wanted some water.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
All right.
Okay. Let me turn on the camera here. All right. Now, number 2 of the 4 factors of fair use, nature of the copyrighted work. This factor looks at the original work you are borrowing from. So, babe, what favors fair use are works that are primarily factual, like news or encyclopedias, published or technical, as opposed to highly creative works. Okay. Mm-hmm. What weighs against fair use, highly creative, artistic, or unpublished works. So the nature of the copyright, work matters as well. Okay. A lot of the news, government news and stuff, I've seen a lot of YouTubers use that type of content. I've seen them restream, State of the Union addresses by the president and other, government type of stuff. That's typically okay. But what weighs against fair use, highly creative, artistic, or unpublished works. Like if you leak a copy of something that you somehow get your hands on.
Like a book that's going to be released, but somebody gets a hold of it before.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Just understand.
Right. That's massive infringement there. Number 3, amount and substantiality of the portion used. This is huge here because a lot of people on YouTube have simulcasted, otherwise known as, restreamed, rebroadcasted my live streams as I've been live, especially for my walks. I do walks, on our YouTube channel, our GNA2 Genuine Live Personal Development channel. And sometimes they're an hour long, sometimes they're 2 hours long. And in the past, a group of people on YouTube have rebroadcasted them while, defaming my character, saying things about me that aren't true, and accepting donations, for that. So, the amount and substantiality, what favors fair use, using a small proportionate amount of the original work that is appropriate for your specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, okay, do you have to rebroadcast an entire 1 or 2 hour live stream, or can you do a 1 or 2 minute segment?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Break it up.
Well, it's not even about breaking it up. If you break it up and you do the whole thing, that's still using the whole thing. Take a minute or 2 segment and do a few minute commentary, do a short video. If you're going to do it on a live stream, then, talk about it for a few minutes, show a small portion and move on. That favors fair use. What weighs against fair use is using the entire work or copying the heart of it, known as the heart of the work, even if the absolute length used is quite short. So what I've always said, my rule is use 5% or less. So if it's, a 1 hour, live stream or video, you can use 2 or 3 minutes, minute and a half or 2 minutes, and do a bunch of commentary. But what a lot of these creators do, they like to do what are called watch parties. They have an audience of people that love drama, and they love to see people attacked, and they pay money to see people attacked. That's what's happened to us on YouTube. And so, when that audience and creator, have a target, for example, we've been a target of this on YouTube. The audience wants the creator they support and donate to target attack people like us, for example, right? And they like doing that while we're live. So they'll rebroadcast us in its entirety while we're live. And they'll make donations off of that. And then that also takes away viewers from us. It also messes with the YouTube algorithm properly promoting us. It just creates a huge mess. So that weighs against fair use. And the fourth and final, factor of fair use is effect of the use upon the potential market. So the effective use on the marketplace. This measures how your use impacts the original creator's ability to profit from their work. What favors fair use? The new work does not act as a market substitute for the original and appeals to a different audience. Basically, for example, if somebody is restreaming one of our live streams that's an hour long, and they restream the whole thing while we're live, that acts as a market substitution of our original. So people can choose to go to us or go to the rebroadcast, right? So that is weighed heavily against against fair use. So what favors fair use is when it does not act as the use does not act as a market substitute for the original. What weighs against fair use, your use directly competes with the original work, reduces potential sales, or harms licensing opportunities. So, I was watching this video earlier today, babe, and these two guys, can't remember what their name is. They're on YouTube. They were talking about the Ethan Klein case, and they were also arguing. One of them was more in favor of having, loose fair use laws where people can pretty much, as long as they make commentary, they can use as much as they want. And the other guy was like, well, okay, well, what about if somebody, rebroadcasted or restreamed a boxing match, kind of like the Mike Tyson days?
Yeah.
And as long as they do commentary, they can restream the entire boxing match as it's live. As long as they're doing commentary and they can get away with that? No, because whoever's running the boxing match has paid a lot of money for the rights. And they're also paying the fighters too. There's a lot of expenses, and everyone that's watching that boxing match legally is paying $50, $75, $100 for it.
Yeah.
So when you're rebroadcasting it and doing commentary and trying to say it's fair use, you are severely affecting the use on the marketplace. It's a market substitution to the point of where people don't have to pay for something that they should pay for if they want to watch it, right?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of people are now adapt to waiting like the next day for something. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like with TV, we already know we've got to wait till the next day for it to come out. Kind of like the same thing here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I also had just another rando question.
Yeah.
What about like graffiti? If somebody is doing artistic graffiti and then somebody copies that, is there anything that artists could do, or do they actually have to copyright their art?
So whatever you create is your automatic copyright. Okay. So any videos that we create on YouTube, anything that we draw, anything that we create, we have an automatic copyright. Okay. But if you want to sue in court, you have to register it with the U.S. Copyright Department. So, again, this video that we're recording here is our automatic copyright. But if, somebody uses it and we want to sue them to assert our copyrights in court, we need to register it with the U.S. Copyright Office. Okay.
Yeah. And you can't take a light bulb that was invented by, Edison, right? Or I don't know, invented a billion years ago and then reframe a light bulb and say that that's your copyright. That's not how that works, right?
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Okay, so who invented the light bulb? Thomas Edison?
I think it was. Let me see.
Because it was the Bell guy who did the phone.
Yeah, it was Edison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he invented the light bulb, nobody can now take that and even, if they change the shape of it, does that make it different for them versus the initial invention?
I think Edison may have had a patent on it. There are a lot of companies that have created light bulbs. I'm not exactly sure. It was invented in 1879. Well, let me put this in here. And does Edison have the copyright? It's a good question. Thomas Edison did not invent the first light bulb, but he successfully created the first commercially practical incandescent lamp instead of a sole inventor.
Okay.
Let me see here. Edison secured patents for it's a patent, the United States Patent and Trademark Office. You file for a patent on that. So it's a little bit different than copyright. Because Edison was involved in the electric lighting race alongside other creators globally, his patents sparked fierce legal battles. So yeah, he had a patent for it, and I believe at that point he was able to license, other companies to create bulbs and stuff like that. Any company that creates bulbs and stuff, they've got everything properly.
And they don't claim that they invented it.
Right.
Yeah.
No. But that's an interesting question there. That works off of a patent, and I believe whoever has that patent, now, I don't know if they get any licensing fees or royalties or however it works.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's a good question. We'd have to do some more research on that. But that's patent, not copyright.
Yes.
So that's a little bit different there.
Okay.
Maybe we can do a different show on that.
Makes sense.
Another time. But anyway, so those are the 4 factors of fair use. Now, I've got 10 questions to ask Don here. We're going to get to the first 5, then Don's going to take a break, then we'll come back and do the second 5. And if we have time, we have a couple of Reddit postings to go over regarding people's thoughts on the Ethan Klein situation and the fact that it appears he's going to end up losing his copyright case. I'm quite shocked, but you just never know. And the more and more I look into it, Ethan Klein set precedents when he won. I believe he was the defendant in a copyright case for using someone's content, and he won his fair use battle. Now on the flip side, he's suing someone that's about to win a fair use battle on him, and we've got our own copyright issues. We're not going to get into that. There are some people that have been massively violating my copyright. It's a whole different situation. We've talked about it in the past. We're not going to get into detail on it today. Maybe down the road we will. But again, my situation involves people rebroadcasting my live streams in real time in their entirety, and that's a market substitution. Mm-hmm. We'll get more into that. So again, to anyone out there that knows my situation, our situation here, and if you're trying to compare, our potential future copyright litigation against people, if you're trying to compare that to the Ethan Klein situation, it's totally different. It is totally different. Okay. We'll get more into details on that, later on down the road. Okay, so question number 1, the foundation question, my love.
Let's go.
Dawn, when you hear the phrase creator fair use copyright battle on YouTube, what does that mean to you? And if you don't know the answer, no problem.
No, it's okay.
Because most people don't understand copyright.
Yeah.
And they create their own content and people steal it and make money off of it. And most people don't even realize that. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I didn't really know too much about it prior to dating you. Mm-hmm. But like I was asking questions before, okay, like I understand what fair use, like the definition of fair use. Okay. But there's so many fine lines that I kind of wanted to clarify the difference of fair use and a copyright infringement, And so what else was in that question about fair use, copyright?
When you hear the phrase creator fair use copyright battle on YouTube, basically, we've got a bunch of creators on YouTube that feel entitled to use as much of anyone's content as they want, even hours, or restreaming people for hours while they're live. As long as they do commentary, they think it's fair use. They also think everything they say is protected by the First Amendment, which defamation is not. Slandering people. A lot of these creators, in order to stand out, because controversy sells, we know that. We know people that are creating outrage, like Chris Cuomo has always said on News Nation. You've heard that, Chris Cuomo saying outrage sells, and it does. And these creators get it, right? So those people think they're entitled to use as much of of your content as they want, as long as they do commentary. But that definitely is not true. What does this mean to you? The creators that are trying to continue to use other people's content unrestricted, and then you have people like us that feel violated, and it's affecting us from making money. It's affecting us from growing. In essence, they're taking our original content and making more money off of it than we are, getting more traction off of it than we are. That's not right. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, obviously, I don't agree with that. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting next to you and supporting you in this career if I felt that they were doing something right. You know what I'm saying? It actually makes me roll my eyes to hear of other creators and people going through this, because it's really gotten out of hand, and people are almost viciously trying to take advantage of other people. Like they think in the morning when they wake up, how or who am I going to take advantage of today? And it's almost, that's what the world has become.
It's the entitlement, babe. I mean, look, I've talked about the entitlement of people, starting with the millennial generation. I'm not saying that Gen Xers like us didn't have anyone entitled in our generation. I think we've all felt the level of entitlement at a time or two.
At any age.
At any age, in any generation. But the millennial generation, it's fair to say there was a huge shift between Gen X and Gen Y, the millennials.
Yes. And I heard something on a show or a movie I watched today, and some older gentleman said to a younger guy, this is what the problem is with you millennials. You never listen to our advice. Like the older people, just the same way our parents told us, you need to listen to us, or listen to your, basically respect your elders. That's what it comes down to, and so he was saying, you guys felt so independent and entitled that you couldn't ask for help or direction. And that's what we want to come out here and say is, you can. There's no reason why you can't ask for help or direction. And we want to prevent you from being that entitled person to just sit here and use somebody else's content to either get your kicks off or just to destroy somebody else's life. I don't know what it is,
Right.
And this is an ongoing thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to number 2 because we got so much to go and so little time, so much to get into. Number 2, why fair use is so misunderstood. Babe, why do you think so many YouTubers misunderstand fair use?
To be polite, I think that they are uneducated and they don't do enough research on their own of what fair use actually is. That's the biggest thing. If people don't know where the definition, what the definition of the word is, where it comes from, then, you're just running blind basically with no knowledge. And so I think it's just very, people are just ignorant, have not been educated to what the definition of fair use is.
Okay.
Personally.
Well said. I'm thinking it's the complete opposite of that,
okay,
in my opinion, because I think they understand what fair use is. I just think it's the entitlement that they have. When YouTube first came out, okay, not many people really understood fair use as they do nowadays. Still, there are a lot of people nowadays that don't understand it. But many more people understand it now than they did, 15, 20 years ago.
I think a lot of people are misdirected because of television.
Sure. And when YouTube first came out, they didn't have the education programs that they have now. They have such great help pages and they redesigned their creator studio. They changed to a better system and you can go in there. It tells you everything. You can click a few buttons. You can find out any answer. And they also explain fair use very clearly. Because YouTube and any platform that allows copyrighted content, has what's called a safe harbor protection, Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, meaning that you can't sue them as long as YouTube makes a good faith effort to abide by copyright law and to remove copyrighted content when a valid and legal Digital Millennium Copyright Act takedown request is sent to them, right? Now, when that's sent, people can also file the person you take down, which gets them a copyright strike, can file a counter notification. If they file a counter notification, it's them saying my usage is fair use. And basically, when they file that and YouTube forwards it back to the original person that filed the takedown, the copyright owner then has 10 business days to sue them either in the Copyright Claims Board or in federal district court, or YouTube will reinstate the content. Now, I'm talking about the U.S. here. YouTube is global, and we have a lot of supporters from outside the country. Check out the copyright laws in your area. They're probably, very similar, but I'm speaking about U.S. copyright law here.
I have a kind of a silly question.
Yes.
So you say it's a DMCA?
Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Okay, that is hysterical. It's like a temper tantrum from the millennials. It's like them saying, I don't like what you're saying. Shut up. Bye.
Yeah. Well,
it's coincidental that it's called that.
I believe it was Bill Clinton that created the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. And that's why they call it DMCA for short. So
it's just ironic.
It's known as a DMCA copyright takedown.
Ironic.
Yeah. No, it is ironic that it was named after the millennium.
I just sat here and I was like, oh, the irony. I didn't get it at first.
Sorry, it's not digital millennial. It's digital millennium. Digital millennium.
Oh,
not millennial. Digital millennium at the turn of the century. Copyright Act.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to correct that because
I was like, that just sounds too coincidental.
Yeah, no, it's not Digital Millennial Copyright Act. It's Digital Millennium.
That
the
makes
millennium,
sense now.
2000 party over at a time. So
Yes.
When a party like it's 1999. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the millennium. Yeah. So,
like
all right.
The Millennium Falconer. Is that what it's called? The Millennium Falconer.
The Millennium what?
Isn't that something from Star Wars?
The Millennium what?
The thing that, never mind, go on.
Okay. Number 3, why YouTube is the center of this issue. This is huge. They're the largest video platform in the world. Everyone wants to be a famous YouTuber. They have the best monetization program. And everyone wants to be YouTube famous. It's the new Hollywood. So Dawn, why do you think most of these copyright issues seem to happen on YouTube?
Because there's not like real lawyers involved all the time. I mean, YouTube has their real lawyers, but that's too much for them with all the different YouTubers in the world to cover. And these people aren't going to hire lawyers to like protect them. But the people out in the entertainment industry, in the athletic industry, music industry, they're all going to have their people there making sure all of the T's and I's are crossed.
That's true. But let's get to the heart of it even deeper than that. I get what you're saying, but why do you think most of these copyright issues seem to happen on YouTube instead of Rumble?
People don't care.
Instead of Rumble or instead of
more exposure.
Okay.
You get more exposure on YouTube than on Rumble or Kicks.
That's what I'm thinking myself as well. You know, YouTube again is the largest video platform in the world. They're owned by Google. Your videos get indexed on Google. They have one of the best monetization programs with ad revenue. They pay you ad revenue. You have super chats, super stickers, super thanks. You have channel memberships. It's a great program. It's a great program, and a lot of people don't realize it is a privilege to be in the YouTube Partner Program.
Yes, it is.
An absolute privilege that I cherish. Our main channel here, G&A, Genuine Personal Development, where we have the video version of our podcast, has been monetized for over 7 years. And in our secondary channel, G&A2, Genuine Live Personal Development, we got that monetized about 3.5 to almost 4 years ago. Shortly after you and I got together, we started creating content there because we felt it might be too risque to put it on the monetized channel, but we ended up doing normal, decent content, and we got all the watch hours. So we're like, why don't we just monetize a second channel and separate the live streams from the pre-recorded stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but yeah, most of the copyright issues seem to happen on YouTube because this is the platform where you get the most exposure. This is where everyone's at, and this is where the most money is made.
Mm-hmm.
You have the most opportunity to make money and to grow your brand on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, he didn't have enough room. I had to scooch.
No problem. We are at 43 minutes. Okay. Number 4. Is it number 4? Yeah. Reaction content versus transformative content. Don, what do you think the difference is between just reacting to a video and actually transforming it?
Well, okay, if you're just reacting, you're literally just replaying that other content creator's content. Mm-hmm. Basically, when you have transformation content, you know, that means you can use that other person's content in a small amount and then make commentary. I mean, it's like literally, it's commentary. It's in there, basically, you know, and commentary is possibly what you feel or think, but it doesn't have to be defamatory, derogatory.
It's your opinion.
It's your opinion.
Right.
And when you give your opinion, give it as something as normal as possible. Don't give your opinion that somebody is a certain way or somebody is ugly or somebody is fat. Like, that's not how you give your opinion when you're commenting on somebody else's content.
You're talking about the difference between talking shit and insulting people.
Yeah, but and actually reviewing
or going over
and
the
respecting
purpose of the person's video or live stream.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what I was saying.
So it's not about harassing someone in a targeted way to entertain your audience and incite donations from your audience. Okay, that is reaction content right there. That is, I like to call that defamation for dollars. Transformative content, like Don said, is where, okay, somebody states something, you disagree and say, hey, you know what? I disagree. Here's my reason why. I get where you're coming from, but this is what I know about this, and blah, 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 right?
I have a great example, just not one I know I want to bring up, but I will anyways.
Okay.
The Gabby Petito.
Okay.
I think that's perfect because you put out there your opinion
I did.
On that situation, and you got a buttload of crap.
Oh, just from that one group. No one else gave me crap about it.
Yes, but if it did extend out, other people would give you crap because it was an unpopular opinion to have. You know, everybody's going to feel like, oh, sorry for her, when you actually saw what was happening to this man.
Yeah.
And how he was emotionally and physically being destroyed.
Well, she berated him. And the thing is this, let me say something real quick. What I did say that was controversial to at least this one group of people that has a few creators that have been reacting to me, not transforming the content. They've been defaming me for dollars, restreaming me, etc. What I did say was, it's almost like she deserved what she got. I didn't say, I don't condone anyone harming
any violence.
I don't condone any harm, right? But here's the thing. Brian Laundrie did everything for her. Brian Laundrie was her boyfriend, and she belittled him. She made her social media presence all about her. She used him as her cameraman. And
she didn't even ask him.
Yeah, and she kept on antagonizing him and belittling him. And the bottom line is, he had mental illness, and so did she.
Mm-hmm.
They both had mental illness,
right?
And when you got people that have mental illness, they are more prone to snap, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but in my opinion, people with mental illness are more prone to snap and do something
erratic,
not good.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So, in essence, in my opinion, God rest her soul. God rest Brian's soul.
And the family. God bless them.
In my opinion, she berated and pushed Brian Laundrie to the point of where he snapped.
Yeah. And that's something you have to take into account when you are in a relationship with somebody that might possibly have undiagnosed mental health. And you just see
or mental illness.
Did I say mental health?
Yeah, mental illness.
That's what I meant. But you don't see the signs and symptoms coming, and then that person snaps. So the thing is basically getting to know your partner and know what they can handle, know that limit, and know how to take that and bring it down a notch for your partner, not make them go over the edge.
Right.
So, and that's what, unfortunately, in my opinion, she did.
Yeah, it's really sad. I shared my opinion, got a lot of heat from it from one group of people that's been commercially exploiting me and massively.
And I'm sure we'll get it from this. I'm sure they'll give us some.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You know, we're handling things legally from this point on. But yeah, anyway, number 5 before your first break or your only break, babe. Why original creators feel violated? So, babe, why do you think original creators like us get upset when someone uses their video under the claim of fair use. Like basically, in our case here, why does it bother us when someone uses our videos under the claim of fair use?
Because they're our videos.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to be like the 2-year-old child going, mine, 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 but bitch, it is mine. It's like, we made it.
Yeah.
And nobody else has any rights to just play what we made and then sit there and do nothing but degrade and make money off of making us look bad. That's not why we're out here, you know? And when other people steal the content, which is what they're doing, they're stealing it. And it just shows that they are, they have no inventive spirit of their own
no
to come
creativity.
up. Well, inventive spirit to come up with their own worlds.
Right.
Even go into some imaginary worlds they can't even go to create content. And that's what, I mean, that's where we feel violated.
Right.
And, it's just, it's funny. They call it the Fair Use Act. Well, it's just not fair.
It's just fair use doctrine. It's the Copyright Act is the act.
Yes, I know.
Fair use is part of the overall Copyright Act.
And I'm just trying to get across another ironic situation with the same word being kind of two different ways.
No, totally get it. Just want to make sure that it's stated as it's stated so people understand it. But no, I get what you were saying.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I share this before you take a
Sure,
break?
yeah, sure way.
I can speak for myself. What upsets me is not the fact that people want to do commentary or criticize me or use my content. It's the amount that they use, and it's how they use it. Okay. When you use the entire thing, it takes away from the original. It's a market substitution, especially if you're rebroadcasting it in real time. And so if people want to critique us, or if you want to critique anyone, no problem. Keep it to 5% or less. Preferably do it pre-recorded. If you're going to do it live, keep it to 5% or less of the original. Do commentary and then move on to something else. Okay. If you use someone's content to draw in your audience and you keep playing the whole thing as your entire show or the majority of your show, then their show becomes your show. And that's called a market substitution. And that's exactly when I've got this big federal copyright case I'm going to be filing. I put it on hold for a little while, but I will be filing it by the end of the year, beginning of this new year, because I'm learning a lot from this Ethan Klein case. And so, I want to be fully prepared to represent myself. I'm going to be representing myself pro se against another YouTuber in federal district court. I can't afford the attorney. But here's the thing. I have experience because I am currently suing 3 other YouTubers between 2 full-blown civil cases with this same group of people that involve the copyright regarding defamation of character, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and civil conspiracy, common law, unfair competition, coordinated targeted attacks. Dawn and I have gone through the ringer. We've been through the ringer. We've been commercially exploited. We would be so much further ahead, have so much more money, and just feel so much less tired if it wasn't for what these people did. And we're not here to complain and whine about it. We're handling it in court. We're just sharing this to you folks as part of the content and why original creators feel violated. Mm-hmm. That's part of the question there. But anyway, anything else, babe, or should we?
No, we can go ahead and
we're at 54 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to turn off the camera. And Dawn's going to step away and take her break. And then when she gets back, we're going to go over the final 5 questions. while Don is taking the break, just to remind you folks, if you are listening to us on the audio-only podcast networks such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon's Music, my lady's favorite, iHeartRadio, Amazon's Audible. Amazon has music and Audible, 2 different places to listen to podcasts. We're also on YouTube's Music. On YouTube's Music, because YouTube Music is owned by YouTube and Google, you can listen to the audio only or the video version, just like you can also view it on our main channel, which I'll get to that in a second. We're also on many of the other unknown, not as popular audio only podcast networks. If you're listening to us anywhere audio only, you'd like to view the video version of our podcast, which is basically the same thing with just video. We rip the audio from the video for the audio-only version. Go below the description section about halfway down. You'll see the link there. Click on that link. That'll redirect you to our main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. Subscribe, bang the bell, and select all notifications so you don't miss anything. Also, while you're there, go in that description section, a couple lines below in the description section, you'll see the link to our secondary live streaming channel that we mentioned a bit ago, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. We go live there pretty regularly. We used to go live there every day or almost every day. For the time being, because of, so many things going on, we're going live 2 to 3 times a week, and maybe a little bit less or a little bit more, schedule and time permitting. But yeah, you're going to want to subscribe to both those YouTube channels. On the live streaming channel, we do Walking with Purpose streams. We do Driving with Purpose streams from the road. Sometimes Don joins me. Sometimes I do them on my own. We will sometimes do On the Couch with Don and Eli. Sometimes we'll do in studio live streams. Sometimes just myself. Sometimes Don. Sometimes we have a guest on or a bunch of guests. You never know what you're going to get, but it's all good, and it's all for personal development, and it's all to help motivate and inspire people to become a better you. So that way you can accomplish whatever it is that your hearts desire. So, yeah, that is that. I'm looking at the cameras, and I think Don is about to pop back in. Yes, perfect timing. We are at 57 minutes. Good vibration. All right. Ready for the camera to be turned back on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we are good.
Let's hit number 6.
Yes, and the background today says intellectual property. Intellectual property.
There you go. You lean over just a little. And then they can see everything.
Intellectual property, also known as IP. Now, IP can be Internet Protocol, your IP address, but it also stands for intellectual property, which is basically a fancy way of saying copyright. So this video is our intellectual property. Our images are our intellectual property. Our audio is intellectual property, etc. So that's why that's there. Intellectual property, or IP for short, a fancy way of saying copyright. All right, let's continue here. Number 6. Why commentary creators defend fair use. This is what really, really bugs me. They think they're so entitled. Babe, what would you say to creators who believe reaction and commentary content should be protected?
Now you're talking about creators that comment on other people's. I'm confused, by the question.
So there are creators out there that do reaction commentary type of content.
Yes.
To a certain extent, it can be protected by fair use. Each case is unique.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've discussed how the use of fair use can be done appropriately.
Correct.
And that's in short small segments.
Yeah,
and
small excerpts for criticism, commentary.
And I feel that they're trying to defend themselves with this fair use, or they use freedom of speech type of defense, because they feel, well, you created it and now we're just commenting on it, and we have to play it also the audience gets the full context of it,
Right.
So they're thinking, oh, well, maybe I'm helping this creator by sharing it out to my world, when in fact all they're doing is creating another world of hate.
So reaction versus commentary. This is commentary here. Again, the difference is reactions are basically just saying whatever while using someone's content to incite your audience to donate, right? Or to get attention or whatever. Real commentary is actually responding to the context of the video or the content, right? Now, a lot of times I will react or respond to people, but when I react or respond, I respond based on the context of what these people have said. But here's what I do. I haven't used anyone's content in years, because I used to deal with the copyright game. A lot of these people that are big proponents of the First Amendment and also fair use, all right, they want to be able to use your content and not be taken down for copyright, but they'll be the first ones to also take you down for copyright if you use their content and say something that's not as nice. Now, for me, I've said some things that are not as nice about these people, but it's all been true. What they've said about me, for the most part, has been defamatory. There's a big difference if you're responding or reacting on the substance of, someone's video, or if you're just reacting with defamatory statements and insulting someone. Insulting someone, to me, weighs against fair use.
Well, yeah, you can absolutely say somebody's an idiot.
Sure.
And that's your opinion. That's, what you get from that person, but to claim that this person has had no education, has never gone to school, was dropped on his head, whatever, that's not okay.
Yeah, if you want to insult someone for a minute or two, okay, I mean, it would probably be fair use. But
if you say, I don't agree with this is why, and then move on.
Right, but if you rebroadcast someone's 1 hour live stream in its entirety and you insult them the entire way, that's not okay. That's not transformative in nature.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Insulting someone is not transformative in nature.
That's what I was saying.
All it is saying you're a piece of crap or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, no. I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, I was going to say that's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you and saying this. You've seen all the people that have done it to us.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's why I can speak on it.
And for the most part, all they do is they either insult, plead the fifth, because sometimes it's funny. Sometimes when I know a lot of people have been rebroadcasting and I've been trying to stop it, but they just don't stop, I'll just ask them questions that they don't want to answer because I'm trying to get them to admit, that they're actually violating my copyright. And they respond and say, I'm not going to answer that because, I'm not going to get caught in the trap. I'm not going to get caught admitting guilt. Okay, well, that's as good as admitting guilt to me, because at least it's like pleading the fifth in court.
This person, if you asked him, hey, can I ask you a question? Did you wake up this morning?
I'm not going to answer that.
I'm not going to answer that.
I'm not going to answer that.
I plead the fifth for fear of being incriminated.
Right.
Oh.
Anyway, all right, let's continue. Number 7, the 4 fair use factors. We already went over them.
You started.
Just to ask you, babe, what are the main things creators should understand when people talk about fair use? It should be the 4 factors.
The 4 factors and absolute definition of what fair use is. break it down word by word if you have to, but it'll tell you exactly what it is and what you can't do, basically. So that's where I say start at figuring out if what you are doing is fair use. Because if any creator is going to come at you and say you're not, you want that backup. You want to cover CYA, guys. That's what everybody should be taught that.
Yeah.
In kindergarten, cover grass.
These creators saw what was happening in the 90s and the early 2000s with the Jerry Springer style shows, the Maury shows, all of the,
they started the clickbait, like getting people like showing those little commercials, like, and the clickbait of Maury was, are you the father? At the very end.
Yeah. They hook you in.
Yeah.
What you're saying. They really, really hook you in. And that's what a lot of these creators have been doing. And in order for them to create their own Jerry Springer style show, they either need to have constant guests come on their panel, or they need to constantly attack other YouTubers on the platform.
But that's going to get
old.
That's
harassment. That's bullying. Go ahead.
It's going to get old to your audience too, eventually. It just, imagine if a comedian just roasted the same person every single night. How boring would that be?
No, that's true. And what you're talking about is that things happen in cycles, right?
Yes.
Like there have been a few creators on YouTube for the last 6 to 7 to 8 years. They've been coming about me. They've been defaming me. They've been rebroadcasting my streams. Like there's been one creator that's rebroadcasted over 500 or 600 of my streams. And, he would put rainbow penises around my mouth when I was doing my live streams. He would put brassieres on me. He would call me CUCK, like a cuckold, because I used to go by Coach Eli. So he ended up calling me Cuck Eli. He branded me in a derogatory and defamatory way, and so I'm not going to get any further into it. I just my brain gets locked up because I'm so done with it. But after a while, the audience gets tired. Even though it can be interesting to them for a while, it goes through cycles.
Yeah.
So these creators, they see how much money they can make targeting a person like myself that makes a lot of content and exploiting my content. But they have to constantly cycle through different audiences. And after a while, rebuilding with new audience members, you just burn out.
Yeah.
You just end up burning out. But also my legal action that I've taken lately with the circuit civil case and the other the two civil cases, and the future copyright case, that's making a huge difference. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add regarding the 4
Nope.
fair use factors? Number 8. We are at 1 hour and 8 minutes. Number 8, why copyright claims can become personal. So, babe, why do you think copyright disputes on YouTube can become so personal and emotional?
You're dealing with real people. I think that's the biggest thing is, it's not like you're dealing with a celebrity, which they are real people also, don't get me wrong. But at this level, it's just, when one goes after another, it's absolutely personal. And like, if this was just this guy's nature as a creator, just to roast and pick on a bunch of different people, that'd be one thing. But he only goes after you. And so it's like a lot of people say, well, are they only picking on you? Why don't they pick on anybody else? Well, they found a good, place to make money. off of you.
That's it.
That's why it's gone so long.
I make the most content. A lot of the audience of this group used to be my audience. I ended up banning them on our channels because they weren't the type of people I wanted around. I want positive people around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need negative people that are trashing people and attacking people. Okay, I don't need that. And what happened was this one creator, was seeing I was banning all these people, and then basically reached out to them and said, "Hey, if you since you're banned at Elias, I'll just rebroadcast him, and you could come here and comment,
mm-hmm.
and then you can also donate if you want." And like I, when that first started, and this guy had been doing this for many years. He's basically stopped doing it for the time being because we are in civil court. And soon he's going to be sued in copyright by the end of the year, beginning of next year. I have 3 years to do it, and I've got to. My strategy's changed a little bit. It's pretty much the same, but it's changed, and I gotta take care of some other things first. But it becomes personal because it becomes their identity. This guy that commercially exploited me and violated me in many other ways for years never made the amount of money he made commercially exploiting me, defaming me for dollars, violating my copyright, restreaming my entire streams. I mean, literally, he's restreamed me over 500-600 times over the years. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. And it's become his identity. It's become what's made him more money than anything. And right now, anything else doesn't make him nearly as much and as easy. Like it's, I think a lot of it is personal because when these YouTubers start making some decent money for trashing people and violating their copyright, running watch parties, however they do it with this crazy content, when they start getting a taste of making more money than they ever have and making it in an easy way, like all I got to do is go live and rebroadcast this guy. I don't even have to come up with a topic. I'll just take his topic and twist it a little bit to make it sound negative so my audience shows up and donates, right?
Mm-hmm.
and that people get used to that. When they see that's making easy money for them, they get hooked on that. Like, all I have to do is come up with a new anti-Eli topic based off of whatever stream he's doing, and I'll rebroadcast him, and I'll make money off his content, and he won't make shit. I'll get more viewers than him, right? After a while, you have enough, and then that's when you sue. But anything else you want to add to that?
No.
All right, let's go to number 9. Number 9, we are at 1 hour and 13 minutes. What creators should do differently? So, babe, what do you think creators should do before using someone else's video?
Before they use somebody else's video?
Right. That's a simple question, isn't it?
I just think that they should figure out how to do their own content before they even should start stealing somebody else's. You know? That's how I feel, is like,
yeah,
you have to make yourself different from somebody else in order to be noticed. You know, for somebody's eyes to go, oh, wow, you have something interesting to tell me, you know, but if they're blinded by the person you're attacking, they're not paying attention to you. They don't give 2 craps about you. They may throw you 5 or, 10 here. They're doing it for entertainment. They're not doing it because they care about you. So that's my thing.
Good point. I'll add to that and say what I think creators should do before using someone else's video is ask for permission.
Duh.
I mean, that's the common sense answer, is ask for permission. But these people say, we don't need your permission. It's fair use.
You put it out there. You're public figures. It's mine.
Right. The thing is, fair use is only decided by the federal court judge. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Fair use is different in every single case. And that doesn't mean because your case is more likely fair use that you don't need to get permission. You should always ask for permission if you can. If you can. Okay? If you're not going to get permission or you can't get permission from someone, you've tried to reach out to them and you can't reach them, then it's at your own risk. Even using 2 to 5 to 10 seconds of someone's content, you can get a DMCA copyright takedown and get a copyright strike on YouTube. Does that mean, you're going to lose in court? No, but you never know. You never know. It's not up to you. It's up to the judge, the federal copyright court judge. That's that. So, don't be entitled to, use as much of someone's content as you want and say, I don't have to get permission because it's fair use. No matter how much I use, as long as I do commentary along the way, that's not how fair use works.
And wouldn't it feel so much better to create your own content and have your own fans? Because they're only coming there for whatever you're putting on in your watch party. Now, how many people show up when you do your own content? When you do something by yourself?
Right.
A fraction of people.
What you're saying, babe, is most people would feel better about themselves knowing that they created this themselves, original content.
Most people.
Right. Like for me, everything that you and I do is original. Now, we talk about topics that have been discussed by many other people, but we put our own spin on it. And this is our own show. We're not using anyone else's content or anything. I mean, we might show an article every now and then, but we always credit the article and we always do a lot of commentary on it. And we never, ever use any piece of content that would affect the creator of that piece of content, whether it's a blog article, a news article online, a Reddit posting. Reddit postings don't affect anyone. They don't affect, as a matter of fact, what they do is they bring more awareness to those subreddits and they grow because of what
Reddit's all about. Really, that's what Reddit is about.
It's a community, yeah.
It's a community of sharing things and how things get better or how things could get worse if you keep going in that direction.
Every time. That's why I always say this is from the subreddit r/blah, blah, blah, because I am attributing
the creator.
Well, I'm attributing that whole subreddit, but then also attributing, the commenter and stuff. I'll mention, their comment name. Some of them are really weird. A lot of people are anonymous on Reddit like they are on YouTube, but
I still think some of these names on YouTube are kind of crazy too. I'm like, where do people come up with these things?
But here's the thing. A lot of people think even, an attribution is when you pay credit to the copyright owner.
Yes.
Right? To make it very clear, attributions don't shield you from copyright. You might, if you attribute your use of copyright to the copyright owner, they may be less likely to sue you or file a copyright takedown on you, but that doesn't mean they can't. They can't. Attributing a copyright owner doesn't shield you from copyright enforcement. It's up to the copyright owner.
Mm-hmm.
But most copyright owners, if you're reasonable, you attribute them, you're not lying about them or harassing them, they're going to let it go and say, hey, this is a promotional piece. It's when you attack them and you defame them while using their copyright, that's when people really kick it into high gear. That's what's happened with me. That's why I've sued these people, and there are more lawsuits to come. I hate to admit it, but there are, and that's just the way it is. So anything else that creators should do differently, babe?
No.
We're at 1 hour and 19 minutes. We have one more, and then we're going to wrap it up. I had 2 Reddit postings, but we're not going to have time to go through them. We need to wrap this up in an hour and a half because Don and I have so many things going on. We've been limiting our shows lately to an hour and a half.
Just spending more time together.
Yeah, spending more time together. And there are a lot of other things that, we don't need to mention.
No.
You know what I'm saying. But anyway, the 10th question, which is the bigger message. Babe, Dawn, what do you think the bigger message is for creators watching this episode? What's the bigger message? What is the takeaway here?
When creating content, be true to yourself. Create what comes from the heart, your mind, your soul. Don't rely on other people to create content for you. It doesn't allow people to really get to know you. And that's what being on YouTube is all about, is to have a connection with somebody. And if you can't be real, you can never have a relationship with anybody, friendship, family members. A lot of times there's huge resentments with parents, siblings, other family members, all of that. But what you've got to do is you've got to take maybe those hard things in life and you got to spin them positively and try to help people who maybe are going through the same thing. And that's what we do here at the GNA.
I could not have said that any better myself, babe. Let me put my spin so I don't copy you.
No, it's okay.
See, you gave me permission to copy you, but I'm still not going to do it.
I'll give you my copyright.
It's all right, baby. No, it's all good. Thank you, though. What do I think the bigger message is for creators watching this episode? I've always said it, and I'll say it again. Treat others the way you'd want to be treated. Do unto others as you would want done upon you. And remember, in life, you only get back what you put out. What you put out, you get back. I know in this crazy modern world that we all live in, the easiest form of content to make is hateful, abusive, shit-talking type of content where you attack other creators, you berate them, you belittle them, right? And, you try to make them look bad so you look good in front of your audience and your audience is entertained and they donate to you. I understand the thrill of that to the creators that do that. It's a temporary thrill. It's a temporary thrill. And the thing is, you got to move past that. The bigger message is be you, be yourself, be original. You may not get the same immediate traction and make the same amount of money as the vile and crazy content. But you do the time and put in the effort, you will build something that'll be more sustainable long term and will eventually make you more money. The thing is, people want the shortcut. They want the easy way out. They want the most simplest way to make money and to feel accomplished and to feel wanted, to feel validated. I've seen, and it's really sad because one of the things, I'll wrap up by saying this and then I'll get your final thoughts. One of the things when I first came on YouTube, full-time or semi-full-time back in 2017. I'd been on YouTube before that since it came out over 20 years ago, but my first real attempt was about 9 years ago. In 2017, there was this MGTOW, men going their own way movement. There were a lot of men struggling with women, and there are still a lot of men struggling with women. They need a lot of help. But and I forgot where I was going with this. It was very, very important. In 2017, a lot of these men were struggling. a lot of these men would seek validation, and they don't realize that when they seek validation from a woman, it's a big turnoff. It's normal for women to seek validation from men. It's part of their natural biology, but it repels women when you seek validation from women or other people. Men are supposed to be strong, independent, and they're supposed to focus on their purpose and create their own purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen a lot of men on YouTube make vile, hateful, demeaning content against other men, the purpose of their content. And they do it because it makes them a lot of money, and it also validates them, because there are actually audiences of people out there that enjoy this type of content. And I just think anyone that enjoys this type of content, whether it's the audience or the creators, they all need help. And that's the bigger message, is rise above all of this. Rise above all the drama and hateful, outrageous content. YouTube is trying to clean things up. YouTube lately has been on a massive demonetization spree for AI-generated content. They've also been more so removing bullying and harassment and hateful and abusive content. YouTube is really cleaning up shop. And if you folks continue to do what you used to do years ago, you're going to get removed. And I know some people get removed and they keep coming back. But even if you keep coming back, you find a way to bypass your ban, right? Because once you're banned on YouTube, it's a permanent ban. But people keep coming back. You have to start over. Is it fun starting over? Is it also fun that, once you get removed, you can't even re-sign up with the YouTube Partner Program? And some people have successfully been able to bypass that too, but they can get shut down any day, right? Even if you can bypass the rules, why put yourself in that position in the first place, to the point of where you have to fear that tomorrow may be the day that YouTube realizes I've been shut down on 3 other YouTube channels or 5 other YouTube channels, and I've been demonetized 3 other times, but I somehow got another channel monetized, and is tomorrow going to be the day where they just figure this all out and completely shut me out? Why put yourself in that position? Just don't do dumb shit in the first place. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've ever said. That's the bigger message. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up, baby? An hour and 27 minutes.
A big message I want to say is love yourself. Learn how to love who you are. Once you're able to do that, you will no longer be a follower. You will be a leader. You will lead your life with your own thoughts and your own creativity. And so push by the sheep and just go up and be the leader.
Absolutely.
That is my advice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, babe. Before we wrap it up, let me just close by saying, I think what this episode really comes down to is responsibility, creator responsibility, platform responsibility, and audience responsibility. Creators need to understand that fair use is real, but it has limits. Copyright owners need to understand that criticism and commentary are also protected, but that does not mean anyone can take everything. And platforms like YouTube are stuck in the middle, trying to process claims, disputes, takedowns, counter notifications, and creator complaints. But at the end of the day, every creator has to ask themselves, am I being fair? Am I being respectful? Am I using only what I need? Am I adding something meaningful? Am I transforming the original? Or am I using someone else's work because it benefits me? That is the question. And I think this controversy is important because it forces creators to think. It forces people to understand that YouTube is not just entertainment. It is business. It is media. It is reputation. It is intellectual property. And sometimes it is legal consequences. So whether you are a small creator, a reaction channel, a commentary channel, a podcaster, a live streamer, I think we're all the above, babe. or someone just starting out, learn the rules, respect other people's work, stand up for your own work, and do not assume that saying fair use automatically protects you. It doesn't. Because fair use is not a slogan. It is a legal analysis. And if creators understood that better, there would probably be a lot fewer copyright battles on YouTube. So, babe, this was a serious one.
Yes.
But it is something creators needed to hear and need to keep hearing.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
I just want to say, if you want to be respected on the platform that you're on, then you cannot disrespect another person out there because you're showing your true colors. If you want respect, you need to give respect. So I just want to close with that. Tell everybody it was a great show. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's all, baby.
And babe, and just like I always say at the end of each show,
don't take life for granted.
Don't take life for granted. With that being said, it is time to start wrapping this up. All right. You've been listening to the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. This has been episode number 64, and the topic was Creator Fair Use Copyright Battle on YouTube. One more time. Episode number 64 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast was titled Creator Fair Use Copyright Battle on YouTube. One more time before we get on out of here. If you're listening to us on the audio-only podcast networks such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon's Music, my lady's favorite,
iHeartRadio. Oh, and iHeartRadio.
My lady's favorite and mine. We love iHeartRadio with a smile. We're also on Amazon's Audible. We're also on YouTube's Music, audio and video there. And we are also on many of the unknown or not as popular audio-only podcast networks. Just do a Google search for the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, and you'll see us everywhere. So if you're listening to us audio-only, you'd like to check out the video version or watch the video version of our podcast, go below in the description section of wherever you're listening to this audio only. About halfway down, you'll see the link to redirect you to the video, which redirects you also to our main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. Make sure you subscribe there, bang the bell, select the notifications so you don't miss anything, and then go below that description section. A couple lines down, you see the link to our secondary live streaming channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we go live pretty regularly, lately 2-3 times a week, maybe a little less, maybe a bit more. We're pretty busy, but we're eventually going to get back to almost everyday live streaming. Just keep it locked there, and you'll be all good. With that being said, time to go. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, babe,
be good to each other.